Hello everybody, welcome back to the Never Ending Backlog. I'm your host Zach, and we are back with another game review. Today we are playing Axyos, or Axyos. I'm going to call it Axyos because I think it flows better, by Axyos Games, published by Axyos Games. It currently has mixed reviews. You'll find out why. Released in 2018, it is a first-person shooter. Current best price is $4.99. You can buy it in a bundle pack of 4. Except the funny thing is this game's not called Axyos. It says buy 4 copies of RIP or RIP. They must have done a name change at some point in time. This game is the epitome of a abandoned game, though. That is exactly what it is. It is 100% abandoned. The developers just left it, and I'll show you why real quick, and you'll see it in game as well. This is like the 5th time I've actually played this, recording this, just so that way the audio sounds good. Some of the sound effects get way louder. It's got, all kinds of just fun stuff happening. But I'll say some positives as well. Like I said, it's always an impressive achievement when a developer makes a game. And as long as there's some thoughts of like, this is a little bit unique, that's kind of neat. I'll touch on those things as well. But let's just jump into a game. I will not finish a full game. I'm actually going to be looking at my timer over here in the corner. Because I've never finished around here because I don't know if they ever actually end. And once again, you'll see why here in a second. So this is the main screen. They do have ultra wide. That's what I'm using right now is ultra wide monitor. But I'm doing windowed, which worked out fine. And not a lot of settings here. You got, language, field of view, crosshair, sensitivity, graphics quality, screen resolution, sound volume, and inverse kinematics. If you click profile, this is where it gets really funny. You ready for this? Weapon and character customization isn't finished yet. Probably it'll be available in beta. Here's the funny thing though. This game's not early access. It was released in 2018 for $4.99. That's the complete finished price. So this is post beta and it never came out. So, there's that. I'm level 0 and I can't ever get past level 0 it seems. So there's that I guess as well. Server browser, I've searched countless times and I can never find a server, so I'm assuming it just doesn't exist. If I click create, that's where it's funny, isn't implemented yet, though you can host a dedicated server. I'm assuming that's through a Steam's tool. That's also in the tools section on Steam. I haven't really played with that. I probably never will play with it, but it's good to know. And quick search, this part is amazing though. Watch how fast this loads up a game though. Ready for this? Look at that. Done. Find a Call of Duty match, a Halo match, anything that loads up that fast. That's insane. Now there's a catch, and it's kind of funny. If I click the mouse button, that loads up the game. If I click enter, that goes to the buy menu. Think very much Counter-Strike. This game is very much a poor man's Counter-Strike Condition Zero. I'm not even going to give a source. But yeah, let's just jump right into the game, and you'll see. They're all bots. There's no human players. These are all bots. So, there's that. And then, as you can see, the bots aren't as smart. So you will know some cool things, though, like this. See this line? I think this gives us a squad bonus, as you'll see the logo in the center of the screen. Oops. Which I think that's pretty cool. Now, there's no tutorial into that, so I don't actually know what it does. I don't know if it gives you enhanced damage, maybe more money. You do get points for killing bad guys or the enemy players. And, let's just do a few of that real quick. You got a kill there. Got a kill there. Reloading takes a little bit of time, but, I actually don't mind that. You can pick up ammo on the ground. That's pretty cool. Got some ragdoll physics. Nothing too crazy. It's actually not a bad game. If you are tired of playing the new Call of Duty and Battlefield games, just moving away from the traditional source material, this game's very much like that. It feels that way. I mean, it probably could have been a fine game if the developers didn't completely abandon it, which they did. I mean, there's things like if I die, here, I'll show you real quick. You'll notice back here is where I spawned. See how that's where Raptor is? Watch what happens when I die. Okay, now that I've died, I will spawn right behind the green bus again. Or by the tank. Right there. Wait for my respawn. See? Tank, bus, there it is. So you always spawn at the same spawn point no matter what. It doesn't mix it up. So technically bots could spawn camp, or human players, anyone that's playing the game could spawn camp. Now their way of bypassing this is A, it turns your character invisible when you first spawn, and I think it does enhance damage since I've tested to see what spawn camping would do, and a bot one-shot me with full health. So I'm assuming it does it that way. There are funny things, like I would have preferred blank wall rather than this great piece of shit. You know, posters, volume 2. It's very much like they took the Unity free, Unity free assets and they just ran with it. And then they just took everything that Counter-Strike did and just threw it in the game as well. And just obviously didn't implement it as well because I can do stuff. I'll show you after this run after I die, because I will die. Because this is where they spawn. So this is me spawn camping them. So I'll kill this guy and he'll come back here shortly and come back invisible. Or more powerful in the situation. So there I died. And you'll see here, if I push enter to buy instead of B, which took me forever, I have $1,140. I click on primary. Since I'm level 0, I can only buy 2 weapons. But I've never found a way to level up. So I guess we'll go with this. Secondary, can't ever buy that. Can't buy either of those 2 things. Level 3, level 8. I can do a defense of healing, which is your special ability. And you can do chain power, which I think that's what you get when you go near all your bot friends. Accuracy, invisibility, that's when you spawn. Shield, that's your extra shield. And health. So we're just going to do accuracy. You don't have enough money for this upgrade. Attribute upgraded. So, you know, it's not a terrible idea. It's kind of like leveling up. And the more you play, the more theoretically your level increases. And then you can unlock different guns. So it's not bad. I mean, it like I said, it's kind of old school Call of Duty where you like level up your character and you unlock stuff by getting to different ranks. Kind of like that. And there's no, game passes or there's no season passes or anything like that. It's just a standard. You're going to play it. You're going to level up. You're going to get better. But like I said, I don't think any of it's implemented. Assets like this stuff do explode. Which, standard Unity graphic packs. They have things like these ammo packs. You can capture bases. See that red right up here? I think I can capture that. Or no, I think if they're a shield, a golden shield, I can capture it. Oh, this is right above their spawn though, or below their spawn. So you'll notice they are going to be way stronger. I just push Q, that heals me. Regarding controls, it actually is pretty smooth. It's WSAD moves you around, spacebar jumps, left, or the mouse button moves around, left shoots, right aims. It's a standard. And like that, it's actually relatively smooth. It actually has an okay base model. It's just abandoned, which is a bummer. And they sold it as if it's a completed product, which is not. And that's where I think my biggest qualm with this game is they never finished it. But they said they did. And they lied. So, not a great game. It's not a bad game, though. Like I said, it does bring me back to the old school first-person shooters of late 90s, early 2000s. The downside is this came out 4 years ago. And just think about all the other first-person shooter games, all the games that have came out in the last, 4 years ago. That's kind of a bummer. Even if this is a indie developer, which it is, which, obviously there's limitations in play. But it's not a creative, though. At all. I mean, there's some cool things. Like I said, this is neat, the little team thing. Leveling up skills in shooters, kind of cool. I mean, other games have definitely done it. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's enough to validate this game. And it's basically just abandonware. So I'll probably never play it again, which is a bummer. But it is what it is. And Yeah. So do I recommend Axyos? Well, I think you already probably know my answer on this one, but no, I don't. It's unfortunately buggy. It's not finished. It's still $5, and there's a lot of better $5 first-person shooter games out there, and they could do so much more. So, nope, unfortunately, abandoned, dead, not worth $5. Do not recommend Axyos. Avoid it at all costs. If you look at the developers' other games, you might get a similar vibe of, hey, I saw that Unity asset pack for sale on Humble Bundle or Indie Gala or Bundle Stars or Fanatical, wherever it might be. And you'd probably be right. They probably took most of these things from free packs and they just made a game around it, which, like I said, not a problem. Just don't price it as a finished game if it's not. So that's my biggest problem with Axyos. But as always, some cool components. I showed them to you. It was kind of fun to jump back into a first-person shooter that wasn't Call of Duty. And wasn't a bad time. I would actually, if all my friends had it, I would have tested it with them instead, but I'm not going to recommend my friends buy this game. So anyway, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Never Ending Backlog. I will see you next week with our next review.